morning and welcome to another edition of the Panthers Report right here on the Mark Mosey Show. And this great segment is always sponsored by the great people with Florida Tech Athletics. Now, this past fall, we were talking volleyball, basketball, swimming, but now it's that time of year here in the spring. Yes, for Florida Tech Baseball, they are currently in practice getting ready for the new season, which will kick off later this month. We got the head baseball coach on right now, Jeff Tam. Coach, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
I appreciate coming on. I know you probably had a great holidays with your family, but are you like getting that fire in the chest? Let's go, baby. Let's get ready for a new season.
Absolutely. It's time to go. You know, the guys have been working hard. They're tired of the inter squads against each other, just competing against themselves. And I think they're ready for some outside competition here real soon.
Okay. Tell us about those practices. Like you said, inter squad. What do you guys want to accomplish to get ready for the new season then?
Well, you know, it's kind of a necessary evil just to have to inter squad yourselves. But, you know, you're looking for some good offensive days. You're looking for some good pitching, just a mix of both. You know, you don't want one beating up on the other too bad. So, because then you really don't know what you have and you're just kind of stuck in the middle, wondering, you know, how the season's going to go. But, you know, we've had some good offensive days. We've had some good pitching days. Defense is coming along real well. So, you know, we're really excited to get started.
You've been with the program since, I believe, 2021. I know you want to have a big season. Do you write down, all right, here are the expectations for my team this year, or do you need to give it some time when you see how your team plays?
Well, I mean, I think any head coach has the expectations of making sure they make a postseason tournament. You know, and I believe the guys want to do that as well. You know, they're working hard, they're grinding every day, they're hitting extra on their own. You know, they're doing everything, you know, that leads us to believe we're gonna have a good season.
Do you feel like, hey, it's a marathon, not a sprint? I got to give the guys a couple weeks to gel, or is it like I demand this from day one once we start playing?
We have a great group of guys. It's a real big family atmosphere. You know, they hang out together, they eat together, they do, you know, they fish, they hunt, they golf. You know, they're gelling very well from all accounts. From what they tell me, you know, we don't have any bad apples, and you know, it's just kind of the things that you demand as a coach that, you know, you may not get off to a great start or have the best talent on the field, but if you can gel together, you're going to win a few extra games, and it might be the difference maker.
How hard is this schedule, especially being in this conference with so many great teams? What are your thoughts on the schedule?
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough one. You know, out of conference is still tough. We try to schedule the teams that'll give us the best challenge to prepare us for conference. But with Tampa, Rollins, Florida Southern, Nova, you know, any other Lynn last year, you know, just great seasons. And when you go into it, if you have any kind of problems in the middle of a game, beginning, end of the game, and you don't play flawlessly, you know, you usually can end up on the wrong side of those games.
Coach, this is for like the promotional video. Tell us what brand of baseball you want to play here at Florida Tech, for maybe even for a future recruit to see this video.
I love guys that are disciplined. I love physical athletes. I love guys that, you know, just love the weight room. I think the weight room is a big aspect for us, just, you know, building physicality. You know, guys that just put their nose down, play as hard as they can, every pitch, never take a pitch off, and are just ready to go at all times.
When you look at recruits, is academics also a part of that? Like, hey, you're not just here to play baseball. You better hit that classroom as well.
Absolutely. That's a major part of it for us. And, you know, we've done very well with our GPAs, staying above the average of the normal student. But it's a tough sell here. But, you know, we're starting to get a better athlete, and I think we're moving, you know, forward very well in the right direction, and we're getting some physical players, and we have a couple freshmen this year that I see playing quite a bit, you know, beating out some upperclassmen right now. So they're doing a great job.
I've asked this next question to a lot of coaches in the area, so I want to ask you as the head coach there at Florida Tech. You get a senior in high school, or maybe it's a transfer wants to come to Florida Tech, and it's like, Coach, I play second base. That's it. We're good. Do you look at them like, no, you got to be as versatile as possible if you're going to try to play at this level?
You'll find a few players that are very versatile. We have one this year that is Justice Meadows. We can put him all over the field. He's just a phenomenal athlete. If we get that, that's a bonus. But at the end of the day, I want a shortstop that is an elite shortstop. I want a third baseman that's an elite third baseman, and just around the infield, I want guys to be great at what they do, not just okay at every position.
All right, I have more questions, but wait, his name is Justice. Why can't I have a name like that? That is fantastic, Coach.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Justice broke his finger and he just had surgery. So he's about 8-10 weeks out. But, just a phenomenal athlete, just uber athletic, just moves well. So we're looking hopefully get him back sooner than later. And he's going to be an impact player for us for sure.
That is really cool. All right, you talk about that schedule. You guys are going to start, I believe, later this month. Are you going to be in a tournament? How do you kick off this season?
No, for the last few years, we've played Spring Hill from the SIAC, home away, different series. And this year they're coming to us and opening up here at Florida Tech. And, they're a good baseball team. They, you give them a chance, you open the door and they're going to beat you. But, they typically win the SIAC every year. So we try to schedule the better teams in the divisions and, it'll help prepare you for conference.
All right. So back to recruiting. You get a player, they're 18 years old. What is your job to make sure he can develop at Florida Tech and become the best baseball player he can be by the time he gets to 2021?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it starts in the weight room and just the grind and the physicality and just lifting heavy, working hard in the weight room. And then you get rewarded out on the field. After a couple of weeks, a few months, you start to see the physical changes and, diet, everything involving, is involved with these guys. But, it's just not like making him the best baseball player. We have to wear a lot of hats here as coaches and, we're his big brother, we're his father figure, we're his mom, we're trying to take care of him and just help him turn into a man as well and be great at school and just be great at on the baseball field.
All right. As a former player, do you tell players like, look, this is the hardest sport to play, to hit that baseball? Like, how do you try to coach them up, especially if they're in a hitting slump like that?
Yeah. I mean, hitting is not easy and they expect perfection a lot of the time. And if you're a career 300 hitter in the major leagues, you're making an awful lot of money. And any more below 300, you're making an awful lot of money. So, it's just trying to get them not to be so hard on themselves. If they're making their move at the plate and putting their A swing on everything and they're not successful, we try to let them know that, hey, you're in the right spot. You just can't be mad that you just didn't square that one up. It's just maybe more of a timing issue. So work on that. But, this sport is fun to watch. It's hard to play, but when things are going right, it just makes you feel real good as a coach for the guys to be successful.
How long have you loved this sport? Your whole life? We got to know, Coach.
Yeah, I've been extremely fortunate. I tell people I've never really had a real job in my life. I went to college. I played baseball. I was very fortunate. Played professionally for quite a few years, and then basically got into coaching 2-3 years after I was done playing. And I'm like I said, I'm so fortunate that I feel like I have a doctorate in this sport. But it's kind of all I know. So it seems.
Okay, where are we from originally?
So I was born in Fullerton, California, but I grew up here in Melbourne, Florida, out on Lake Washington. Parents are still out there, family's still here. So my wife and I, we made this home when I was done.
All right, where'd you play collegiately?
So I actually went to Palm Beach Atlantic for one year, and then I went to Florida State and walked on and was very fortunate enough to pitch a few innings there. And after that, I signed as a free agent with the Mets. And I tell guys, if you're doing your job and you're working hard, and you just try to make sure they never can take the jersey off your back.
That's pretty incredible where, all right, one college, then you go to Florida State, which probably went up a level of competition. It's amazing. Walk on, then you're there. Then when you try out for the majors, what was the difference in just athletic talent out there once you got up there?
So, everyone has the same stuff. Everybody throws firm. Everybody has good movement on their pitches. Everybody has power, or you might have a guy that runs real well, hits for average. It was really the mental side that helped me get through it. I was very mentally sound, very sound mentally. And I had good stuff. I didn't have the best stuff on any staff, but my thought was I couldn't let anybody outwork me. So I felt like I outworked most people, and then learned, that my stuff can play. And then it's just a confidence factor from there.
Is that what you try to teach your current players about that confidence you talk about?
Absolutely. Yeah. The mind is so powerful. I mean, it pretty much is the basis of everything in this sport or any sport, really. Golf, anything you do, the mind, if you let the mind start creeping in negative thoughts and like, oh man, what am I doing? This, that, and the other. And it could really affect the outcome of what you're trying to accomplish. So we try to break it down to the basics and just kind of, dumb it down and just make simple moves and just repeat them.
All right, let's go through game day, especially a home game. You get up, you're not going to play till night. Are you just sitting there waiting? Do you go over film? What's the game day atmosphere like for Jeff?
Yeah. So for me, I have two great assistant coaches, Alex Carpenter and Walker Hennon, and they're going to take a lion's share of preparing the reports, hitting reports, pitching reports. I dive in and help watch some video as well when I can. But remember, I still have to take care of the field. I have to get that ready to play. You got to line it. So it's not like just, I'm not doing anything for the whole day. I get to the field relatively early, go to the gym in the morning, get to the field relatively early, and, just kind of prep everything. And what's the best lineup today facing this pitcher? What's the best, is he left-handed? Is he right-handed? Watching the video on him. Does he have a great breaking ball? He's going to give our lefties a tough time. So it's just a matter of, constructing the lineup and trying to put guys, in the best spot to be successful for themselves.
Do you turn to your team during the game and just like, hey, you see that field? Yeah, that was me. That's right. I was working on that field.
I think they get it because, they're here to go to school, play baseball, and we try to keep them not doing as much field work as humanly possible. Every now and then we need some help with bad weather or just I get behind on stuff. But these guys are great. They step up. They help line the field pregame, after batting practice and what have you. But, got a lot of guys that aren't afraid to just step up and help out because I think they see that our coaching staff works for them as well.
Coach, you talk about, doing that prep work and reviewing film and going over the stats. But what about your gut as a manager, as a coach? Are there moments where it's like, look, I got to go with my experience, everything I've gone through? How do you try to balance that as a manager?
Yeah, I mean, it creeps in. A lot of times you want to just kind of rely on the numbers, but at the end of the day, I mean, being in situations and seeing situations and knowing your players and who they are and what they can handle, sometimes just a gut move is always the best move, and you just go with it, and you live and die by it sometimes.
All right, back to you, then I'll let you go. I know you're a busy man. You're getting ready for the new season. So you're talking about you grew up in this area. So who is your favorite Major League Baseball team that you like to root for?
Well, people ask me that all the time, and I tell them whoever was paying me at the time. But I actually grew up going to California Angel games, and I could pick out the seats that I sat in that my dad would bring me to the game to. So it was just a surreal moment to get to pitch there against the Angels when I was in Oakland for a few years. And we went there quite a few gives you goosebumps even thinking about it. So it was pretty cool.
Was there a moment when you were on the mound like, yeah, this is a little out of body experience? Was that the emotions or what was it like for you?
Oh, absolutely. So I'll give you a short story if I can. First outing, it was in Toronto. I was with the Mets. It was an interleague play. It was Canada Day. I stood on the back of the mound. I looked around. Couldn't feel my body, not even a little bit. And I was looking around and I said, well, they can't take it from me. I made it. Now it's just trying to stay here. And it was funny because I had a few people call me and say, hey, what were you doing on the back of the mound? I said, well, I was having a little self-talk here, trying to make sure I was, happy that I got here, but now it's time to produce and hopefully you can stay for a while.
Was there a hitter then you took on where you're like, okay, I have no answer for this guy? It's okay. I think you could tell us the story now, maybe not when you were playing, but was there a moment like that? Like, all right, this guy, I can't get him out.
Yeah, that was 100%. And all my players know this. I talked to him about it. It was Edgar Martinez for the Seattle Mariners. I mean, I bet you if he had 20 at-bats off me, he probably had 50 hits. It was absolutely crazy how good he was against me. And there were times where I thought I had him and I was going to make this pitch and he was fouling off tough pitches. And then I go to a different spot on the plate and he hits a double off the wall. I mean, it was double after double. There was nothing I could do. It was I mean, he's one of the best of all time. So
so he's in the Hall of Fame now. I think the first DH, like full time to get in. I know Big Poppy's now in as well. Wait. So was it Edgar Martinez, Jay Buhner, and Ken Griffey Jr.? Was that the murderer's row for that?
So Griffey had already went to Seattle, or he had already went from Seattle to Cincinnati. So, but it was Brett Boone, John Olerud, Mike Cameron. I mean, they had some absolute studs. I mean, they're all in the major leagues for a reason. So they were unbelievable players.
Wait, did you take on Ichiro then? Or no?
I did. I faced him as well.
Oh man. Okay. Yep. Explain, because he's like 5'8". Explain trying to pitch to him then.
So the guys asked me, questions about different hitters, and Ichiro was actually 2 for 3 off of me, and both of them are infield hits. So he could absolutely fly. He had an arm like no other, just an absolute cannon for an arm. But if he felt like it, he could have hit 25, 30 home runs every year. I mean, if he would have just lacked a little average and hit for more power. But I mean, just one of the most special players you've ever seen to come in after 8 years in Japan and then just dominate 3,000 plus hits. I mean, you're also talking about one of the greatest players of all time in the world. So
did you go against Bonds then in his prime?
I faced him one time, I think in interleague play. I faced him one time when he was in San Francisco. And this is what people kind of call BS for me. He actually bunted. We had the shift on, and he bunted, and the ball rolled all the way into the left field. So he's 1 for 1 with a bunt hit. So
all right, who of your teammates then, pitching wise? Oh, go on. What were you going to say?
So you're Mark Mulder, Barry Zito, Tim Hudson. All just phenomenal, just unbelievable pitchers. Some of them Cy Young Award winners. Jason Isringhausen, 300 plus saves in the big leagues. Gil Heredia, Corey Lytle. I mean, they just guys that it was just a pleasure being around and learning from.
Did you go up to one of these guys like, all right, I can't throw that ball? How do you do that exactly? Like, were those discussions?
Well, I mean, Izzy threw almost 100 miles an hour, and that wasn't what I did. Tim Hudson threw a sinker. I threw a sinker. But, you're your own person in this game, and you do what your strengths are. And it's going to be enough for you if you can just command the ball and trust that you can manipulate the baseball, make it move how you want to. And if I'm trying to pitch like somebody else, then I probably have a lot of issues, and I'm probably not going to stick around very long, because you either get it done or you go home.
Do you feel like as a coach then, kind of what you're talking about, hey, not everyone's the same human being. But we need this. We need everyone. It's a team sport. You got to be shortstop. You got to be center field. I need you to catch. Do you kind of feel that way as well with the stories you went through?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. We don't try to, keyhole anybody to hit the same, throw the same or anything. Everybody moves anatomically different, and we just try to maximize how they move and what stuff they have. And with Alex Carpenter, he's a phenomenal pitching coach. I'm more the old school type, and Alex has been with me at Eastern Florida for 2 years. He played for me at Florida Tech, and now he's coached for me for the last 3 years. So I've had him for a good 7-9 years. I can't remember the exact number, but he knows me. He knows the new school way of doing things and the nuances on how to fix things. But, we just try to maximize guys and use them to their best ability, and then make just some small minor adjustments to hopefully make them turn the corner and maybe get a little more velocity, maybe a little more sink, better break on the curveball, slider, change up, so.
We'll end with this. Do you see a recruit once in a while and you just kind of know, like, all right, they have a potential to get to the show? Does that happen from time? And I know you need to do your homework, but just the eye, hey, this person's got a chance here. Does that happen?
Absolutely. All the time. Now, we don't always land those players at Florida Tech, but, we've got a couple guys right now that are extremely athletic freshmen coming in. Marcello Cortali is probably one of the better freshmen I've ever had. He's going to find himself probably in the lineup every day as a freshman, true freshman. And it's special. You can just see it, and I think some of the guys can even see it. And if he's going to be on the field every day, it's not going to be a surprise to anybody. So.
Okay. Wait. I bonus. Oh, wait, hold on. My mic's cutting out. I apologize. This is the bonus question. As a man who loves the sport as well, and you could give me your honest opinion. If you don't want to, it's okay as well. Why are baseball bats so expensive? What happened, Coach?
Bats. Yeah.
I don't understand. So
Yeah.
you go to so you go to like a sporting goods store. You're like, all right, let me get a bat. What? The metal bats are $500 sometimes.
Yeah.
What happened?
I'm not on that side very much, but all I can say is maybe the research and development on trying to get them to a certain spec, and maybe their insurance policy that they have to hold over, their company. I don't know, but yeah, it is crazy. And we buy a bat for every player. So it is very expensive, but again, we don't tell everybody you have to use just this one bat that we're going to buy. I buy them what they're comfortable with and what makes them successful. And we do bat testing for them.
Yeah.
Just to see.
I want to ask you about the bat testing, because are there rules and regulations to what bat you can use there at Florida Tech?
Yes, you can't use less than a drop 3. So if it's 33 ounces or 30 inches, it has to be 33 ounces. So you can't lose anything less than 33, 3 ounces apart from the length to the ounces. The specs on the actual core of the bat, we have a bat tester, and we have bats that can fail tests, and you're not allowed to use them in a game, but they have to remain under a certain PSI percentage, or over a certain PSI percentage, so the walls aren't too thin and potentially really hurt somebody, with exit velocity.
Now I'm going to sound like I'm on The Sandlot, like the movie. When I was a kid growing up with my friends, one guy brought a bat.
Yep.
and then we all just use that bat.
Yeah. Well, I'm that old too, so absolutely.
That's what happened. Coach Tam, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. Good luck on the new season, and I hope I can get you on again sometime. All right.
Thank you so much, Mark. I appreciate it.